Welcome, Transformers fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today I will be bringing you my review of the Transformers. Boom, 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 boom. Fall of Cybertron Voyager class Grimlock. Yes, I get to finally talk about the video game figures. I don't have many though. I have, as of right now, I have this one and one other one, which I'll save for a later review. But this one, yeah, this is Grimlock. How he appears in the video game Fall of Cybertron, which honestly is one of my top 5 favorite video games of all time. Both Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. I consider both of those games equally as good as each other. Yeah, but this is Grimlock as he appears in the second game, Fall of Cybertron. And I'm gonna lie, this thing looks flipping amazing. That's what this looks like. A common complaint that I do see, and with it, at least this vehicle mode, is that the tail is a bit stubby. But you know what? I think it works. I think it's proportional enough with this. Yeah, it's not super long, but like I said, well, I don't know, limitations. It is just a Voyager class figure. You wanted a much more longer tail, this should have been a leader class in order to pull that off. Or an ultra class if they brought that size back. But, yeah, Grimlock in his Dino mode. And this is, honestly, this is my favorite this is my... Well, not only is this my... Okay, wait, I'm rambling. This version of Grimlock from the video game is my absolute favorite version of Grimlock. And also, as of right now, my favorite Dino mode version of Grimlock. Close second would be the movie version. Actually, as much as I like the look of the movie style, the movie version of Grimlock, there's something about this one that just looks right. They basically, it's like they combined the original Generation 1 with the movie style, mix it together, then you had this thing, which is sort of the best of both worlds. And granted, like, check out all these details on these vents, these rivets, these joints. This is very well detailed and sculpted. Like, yeah, one common complaint, another complaint I see is that, oh, there's this huge gap here. There's a reason for it. I can't really show it, but there is a reason for it. But you know what? It doesn't bother me that much, because how often are you going to have him be lying down? No. Grimlock. Keep him like this. Also, and I'll explain later a little bit about the character and the story, this is my absolute favorite version of Grimlock from the video game. I love the backstory they give him in the game, the way he is, everything. I love this version of Grimlock. In fact, it's this Grimlock that's like my second favorite Autobot of all time. Is this version of Grimlock. My absolute favorite would be Optimus. Which Optimus? Almost any of them. I really like Optimus Prime. But that aside, I'm going to show off a little bit of... we might as well show off the articulation of this Cyber T-Rex mode. Let's see. The arms, the tiny T-Rex arms are on a ball joint. So ball joints do what ball joints do. Tail doesn't move. The legs... if you want, they can go in and out, but they're not supposed to. Like, you can have them do kicks like that, but that's only part of the transformation. They're not really supposed to do that. I also didn't get this figure, like, brand new. I got this from, like, a second-hand source. Well, who am I kidding? I got this at a convention. I got it used at a convention, and complete, and at a really good price, so I was really happy about that. For articulation, he has... swivels here and here. The toe claws can move a bit, and the knee, and they bend at the knee, and that's pretty much it. You get some pretty cool poses out of this. The tail serves as a nice balance, so not too much movement. And as you can tell, the mouth is spring loaded, but there is a reason for that, and unfortunately I can't show it because the batteries for it died. This little lever here, like, literally, up until, like, a couple hours ago, it was working fine, but then it just stopped. Batteries died, so I had to take them out, which is not easy. Well, my biggest complaint is that the removal of the batteries is so difficult. I couldn't do it. I had to look up a video to see what was the proper way of doing it. It's pretty much you jam something in there and just pop it out and hope for the best. It's horrible how they did that. Now, granted, the figure's around, like, what, 5, 6 years old? Like, it has its age now. It's about, no, I think it's about like 4 to 5 years old. So the batteries finally died on this thing because it was working. Well, how it's supposed to work is that this lever, you pull it back. And I don't know why. It's supposed to open all the way up like this. And then in there, there's a little light. There's an LED in there that shines really brightly, which lights up this Autobot symbol, this red part, the eyes, and then the mouth. in order to simulate him doing his iconic fire breath, which is a really cool feature. That is a really cool use of a light, in my opinion. No sounds, no nothing. Just pull the lever, pops it open, and brrr, fire. I would have liked, if any, this small little thing, I would have liked if there was a way to maybe lock it so that you can have him always in his, with the mouth open. To have him do like a roaring motion, which you can't do because it is spring-loaded. However, probably due to age, it doesn't do it. It only does that. And like I said, I removed the batteries because they died, so I can't show off the light feature, which is a shame. It's a really cool feature. But yeah, it's supposed to pull back and go all the way up, but it doesn't really do that. Could be age, could be where I got it. Either way, it's not too much of a, it's not that big of a problem. You pop in the batteries in there and the lights do work, and then you just do that. And that's pretty much it for Dino Mode. Just one more thing is to mention his accessories. He comes with this really cool set of a sword and shield. These do not store well in vehicle mode. It's a bit of a shame considering how great this thing is. How you store them is you just plug them in on the side. Plug. Plug. Whoops. Plug, and that's it. Now I kind of understand why the gap is a bit of an issue. Like, they couldn't find a better way to store these weapons? I mean, really? That's kind of out there. I don't really do this. However, these weapons do look a lot better in his robot mode, which to me is the absolute highlight of this figure, is that robot mode. So I'm going to put the weapons off to the side, but I just needed to show that you can plug them in here if you really wanted to. As I said, I find the Dino mode really cool, but really limited. It's just slightly better than a brick. So, the transformation is actually pretty neat. So I'm going to show off the transformation. So, here we go. Okay, first off, you take the legs and you separate them as far as you can. These are really stiff on mine. I don't know why, so be careful. I don't want anybody to accidentally break it, but yeah, that's what you do. You separate them like that far. And then you stand them up. And then here's a Voyager, so he gets pretty tall. Then you come to the legs, to the tail, and split it apart. And then you slide this assembly down. And then the tail bit, you just sort of angle it until it stays put. And we'll flip out the foot. Put it in there. Like, you're supposed to push this in. I don't know if there's a small click. I think it's easier on this one. Yeah, slide this down, pop out the feet, and then shove it in there. You'll feel like a small click somewhere where it'll stay in place. And like I said, these ratchet joints are really tight on my figure. I don't know why, but they are really tight. Unnecessarily so. And then you have the awesome legs. As you can tell, the transformation is actually really simple on this guy. So then, go to his arms, flip out the hands, push that in, flip out the hands, push that in. Very simple. And then this part, take this assembly, just sort of tuck the arms there, take this out, we get the head reveal, and then you angle this in, this also folds down, and you aim it into the cavity in his chest, and just put it in there like that. Just angle it properly, and the arms, you can do whatever you want with them, but just try and angle them so they're like flush with that. That's at least what I like to do. And boom. There is Grimlock in his robot mode. And oh my goodness, is this awesome. This is a robot mode. This is what made me fall in love with the character in the game. Just wowzers. Check out that head sculpt. That just looks like an improved version of the original G1 character's head. That's a Grimlock. And oh boy. Articulation? Oh, he's got all kinds of articulation. The head is on a ball joint. He also has really good light piping. So you can tell, he's got the really good amount of light piping. Head is on a ball joint. And even this part is a nice little homage to the original G1 figure and character, whose Dino mode head would be hanging off of his back. At least here it puts it in there. It puts it in his chest, which also means the light up feature, if it would work, if you pull it, the light would shine in his chest and give it a really cool glowing effect that lights up the chest. This really unique, very unique Autobot symbol that looks like, I'm guessing this is like a Dinobot symbol. I've never seen this before or since, only on this character. That is really cool. It kind of reminds me of the Wrecker one, but it looks like a dino version of the Autobot logo. Oh, it kind of reminds me of Sharkticon Megatron. How he had a unique Decepticon symbol, which was a Sharkticon version of the Decepticon symbol. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it. His transformation is pretty simple. I love it. It's not like too simple, but it's just enough where it's interesting. It's a straightforward enough transformation where you could do it and not get bored with it. And the result is just, oh, this is fantastic. Well proportioned, and to be honest, this is almost a dead ringer for the video game counterpart. This looks just like he does in the game, more or less. If anything, he's a little bit thinner. He's a little bulkier in the game, but like, what can you do? This is just amazing how they were able to replicate it. Down to even the hands and feet, the head this guy's awesome. Oh, I love this Grimlock. I'm so happy. I was so happy to finally get him at that convention. When I saw him at a really good price and complete with working lights. Like I said, I promise, his lights do work. It's just his battery died and I had to remove it. Oh, I forgot. I don't know if I mentioned it. This is where you pop in the batteries. And just be careful. I had to look up a video on how to remove them, but just good luck with that. So, Grimlock. Articulation. Oh, he's got a bunch. He's got some in and out here on the shoulder because of these weird hinges. He can go out. He can rotate all the way. Hands. You got an elbow there. Rotation there. The same as if his dino legs. Legs are on... No, it's like a weird hinge. It's like I think it's called the universal joint. He can do on meh kick. It's an okay kick. He can do an okay kick, rotation there, forward and back, and in and out. And he's got a nice ratchety joint for his knee, which I've kind of loosened it up a bit. This one's a little tighter. Could just be my figure and the age and whatnot. And like I said, if I had the batteries, you would pull the back this part, and then it would light up his chest, which would be really, really, really cool. Now, let's get to his weapons, his accessories. First, the shield. Plug it in here. Just plug it in there. You can also plug them up here, but it looks kind of off. There's no point to it. And then the sword, this really, really epic sword. Which is the only thing I think that they made it smaller here than in the game, but once again, it's a toy. I get it. The shield and sword are supposed to be bigger in the game, but they could have done it if it was a leader class, which I would not have minded if they made this into a leader class. It just would have made it even cooler. And this is awesome. If you can't tell, I love this figure, and I really do. Because not only is it my favorite version of my second favorite Autobot, Grimlock, it's just the figure itself is amazing, especially in this robot mode. This robot mode is the reason why you get this figure. The dino mode's not bad. I think it's still an excellent dino mode, and one of the better ones, short of like I guess the masterpiece one. It's a fantastic dino mode. The light up feature for the mouth is really cool when it works. And the weapons are also pretty cool. But this robot, and the transformation is pretty simple. It's fairly simple and straightforward. But this robot mode is where it shines. Like, oh, this robot mode is awesome. So yeah, do I recommend it? Of course I do. Of course I recommend this figure. If you're going to get any Fall of Cybertron figure, this is the one to get. This is just amazing. I've seen all the other ones, wasn't really too intrigued by them. I thought they were cool designs, but like, I don't know, there was something off about them. I think they were too, I don't know. I think it was the same problem I had with the animated, where they were too stylized. Granted, these were not as bad, but I didn't find the figures to match up quite how do I describe it? I liked the game so much that I didn't find the toys to match up with the video game models that much. Like, I was unimpressed by the toys. I really didn't find them that spectacular. Especially some of the designs, Starscream being one of them, I wasn't a huge fan of. But Grimlock? Not only is the game design, the game sculpt design flipping amazing, they managed to capture it in the toy form as well. So this is an excellent, excellent figure. Grimlock smash. They smashed it out of the park with this figure. Oh, and that's it. The figure's amazing. I have nothing else to really say. He just has the barbarian look for him, and it works so well. So yeah, I love this figure. This figure's amazing. Highly, highly recommend getting a Grimlock here. If you're gonna get a Grimlock, get this one, get this figure. Just go get it. Get it now. Just go. Buy it. Go find it. It's amazing. And I was so lucky to find him at that convention at a reasonable price. Even though this, I think it's this version that's not too expensive. Like, the more expensive one would be his Platinum Edition. Or his, like, later re-releases. Which, weirdly enough, I might as well mention it now. Okay, one small problem. I wish he had bigger heels. I wish they had given him heels so that he can, you know, stand. And got him. Okay. I might as well just mention it now. He had a couple of repaints. Like, they did re-release him in a Platinum Edition box with the complete set of the Fall of Cybertron the Combaticons. The Fall of Cybertron Bruticus team. He was with them, and I think he had... he had a more G1 accurate color scheme, which means this tan part was gold, and the gray was a little lighter. Which is cool, but I like this one. This looks much more uniform. The chrome was kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. The chromed out gold. I think he had like a Japanese exclusive somewhere, which was like red. And this mold was also extensively retooled into, weirdly enough, another Platinum Edition. A Platinum Edition exclusive version of the newer Robots in Disguise Grimlock, that green one, alongside a Bumblebee, a Warrior class Bumblebee, Deluxe class, same thing, of Bumblebee. So yeah, so he got a couple of repaints, but they were all Grimlock. As far as I know, this mold was not used for anything other than Grimlock, and that is fantastic because I can't see this as anybody else. This is Grimlock all the way. So, awesome, awesome figure. Highly, highly recommend it. It is fantastic. Nothing but good things. My small complaints are just, I wish he had more heals, and that's pretty much it. And I guess it's like, I wish the weapons could have like stored away better in his Dino mode. But all that aside, fantastic figure. Highly recommended. Go get it. So this has been my review of the Transformers Fall of Cybertron Voyager class Grimlock. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.